Hey everyone, it's Jill Whalen. I'm going to try and answer a question today from Jana. I'm not sure how you say it. I'm going to read the question. Hi Jill, I would like to hear about when in relationship a couple is speaking very ugly with each other, with ugly voice, tone, and insulting way, and in an arguing tone, kind of shouty all the time. Basically insulting, kind of competition, two ego speaking, both dominant. Girl is complaining that she can't be intimate with someone who is shouting at her and insulting her. How to change the very unkind to very kind. Thank you. Thank you for the question. So, let me think. This is one of those circumstances where it takes one in a relationship to change. And I know that sounds crazy because you would think when you have somebody who's always seeming to be mean to you and shouting at you and arguing with you, that it's definitely them who have to change. They need to change. Because, if they would change, I could be happy. I wouldn't get mad at them, and I wouldn't be shouting with them, and I wouldn't be arguing with them, and then I would have a nice, loving relationship with them as long as they change. But here's the thing. With this understanding that I talk about, I've mentioned many times before that we feel our thinking in the moment, and so we act from that thinking. That becomes our reality and the way the world is by what's going on in our head. And it's the same with our partners and everybody else in the world that we encounter or don't encounter. Everybody is feeling their thinking and acting from what it is that goes on in their head. And it's very different than what goes on in our own heads, surprisingly enough. Because we think what goes on in our head is right and the way things should be. And other people think that of what goes on in their heads, and that's their reality. So first off, we're dealing with people who are living in, I want to say like completely different realities. They're probably not completely different, but they're different. And they can, in some cases, be completely different, especially between men and women. But even putting that aside, just people in general have completely different realities they're living with. So there's that. So when somebody that we're with, our partner, husband, wife, whatever, when we're with them and they're seeming to be mean to us or outright being mean to us, obviously being mean to us, they're acting out of whatever's going on in their head, their thinking. And most of the time when people are being mean, it's coming from insecurity. And it doesn't seem like it because they're showing their excuse me, I've got a little bit of a cold. Hold on. So, people are coming from their own insecurities. Hi, Diane. Now I'm crying not because of this topic, but because of my cold. People are coming from their insecurities, and that's what causes them to act that way. Everybody, including you, including your partner, your friends, everybody just wants to feel loved in this world. And it seems to be so hard to feel that from people. And then, as you said in the question, it spirals because who wants to love somebody who's acting like a jerk? Like, we're just not going to act that. We're not going to feel loving towards somebody who's acting like a jerk. So, the thing to know is that that's what they're doing, that they just are looking for love. And as I said in the Valentine's video yesterday, in all the wrong places. So what we can do is know that, first of all, if we know that our partner is acting like a jerk because they're just looking for love. What if, not at the time when they're yelling at us, not at times when they're being jerks, but what if we could love them more? And that doesn't seem possible because they're jerks, right? But what if you could change the image in your head? As long as we're thinking of them as a jerk, then that's how we're going to treat them. That's how we're going to think about them. We're going to not be able to love them, not be able to show them love, not have any compassion for them because we think they're a jerk. But what if maybe they're not a jerk? Everybody else in the world doesn't think they're a jerk, and they don't act that same way to everybody else in the world. What if we could loosen up our idea of who they are in our head, especially people we've been with a long time? We have this certain image of them in our head. It becomes an identity that we've created for them. It's not their identity because they probably don't think they're a jerk. They think, you're a jerk, so that's why they have to act like a jerk to you. But regardless of whether they change the way they are or not, we can change the image we have in our head of them. And if we start to just loosen it up a little bit and say, maybe they're not a jerk, or look for the times when they're not. Maybe they're not always a jerk. Maybe they're not always mean. Maybe they don't always yell, because they don't. I'm sure they don't. And if you can start to see them with compassion, because they are just feeling their thinking, and they are just so insecure and looking for love, and knowing that, just like a little kid, if your little kid was just looking for your love, you wouldn't shut them out and be mean to them. You would give them love, because that's all they want. And all of us humans are just little kids inside looking to be loved somehow. So if you change your image of this person in your own mind, that's all you have to do. In your own mind, loosen it up, think, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're not a jerk. Maybe they're not always mean. And when you do that, you start to act nicer to them, because you're not thinking they're a jerk. You're not telling all your friends, I'm married to this jerky person. You're looking at them with new eyes, and you're looking at them with compassion, because they're just a little kid looking for love. And then you start to treat them nicer naturally and give them that love. And I'm not saying to even do it, you don't have to do anything on purpose. You just will, because you can't help it. You can't not feel compassion for this person who just wants love. And when you start acting with more love to this person, watch what happens. Watch how they change. Maybe not right away, because they're not going to realize that you've suddenly loosened up your image, but they may. It may even happen that quickly. And I'm not just speaking theoretically here. I've done this many times with people that I know in close relationships, and it's magic. It's magical. People change before your eyes. When you change your image of them, people who are acting jerky no longer act jerky. Sometimes they still will. I mean, people are still people. But when they're feeling the love from you, and that you don't think they're a jerk, because why would anyone want to act nicely to someone who thinks they're a jerk? When you show them that you love them and treat them with that love and respect, watch things change right before your eyes. Let me know if anyone is able to do this. It's not hard. It sounds hard, but it's not. Give it a try and let me know what happens. Bye.